Hi, my name is Francis Cristobal from Waverly Express Consulting. Waverly Express Consulting is a group that we've formed in class. Our project manager is Lee, our members are Geoff, John, Monira, and myself. In the next couple of minutes, I will be talking about a project update, a very first one, for a data analysis project with CCBL, Center for Community-Based Learning and Metro State IT. So let's begin. So first I'm going to talk about the Center for Community-Based Learning. What do they do? Next, I'm going to talk about our problem statement. After that, I'm going to talk about our deliverables. And then I'm going to show you our as-is diagram. And then after that, I'll show you our initial shot of our data diagram design. And then I'll give you an outlook, a report in our meetings, or minutes. And then finally, I will leave you with our next steps. The community-based learning. What are they? Well, their website, it's available at metrostate.edu, and you just type CCBL on the search bar. I'm just paraphrasing. They say that they provide support to Metro State to integrate community-based learning and civic engagement through internships and courses. Well, now, while meeting with Nadia Bernacci, she works for the Center of Community-Based Learning, she describes CCBL's function as a matchmaker between the civic experience component of a course and the community partnerships. So in other words, if I was a faculty and I have a course and there's a civic component to it, and I need my student to have a community experience, I pick up the phone, I call Nadia or whoever is in the CCBL office and describe to them, what kind of experience that I want my students to get. So in turn, they look at their partners and look at who would be better able to give them that experience. So in the end, it'll be a win-win situation. Win-win situation for the students, Metro State, because they get that experience and recognition. Also a win-win situation for the community, because they get that help. So our problem statement. Now, as Dr. Bouchard has said, just read your problem statement, so I'm doing that. CCBL currently maintains data and disparate systems that makes reporting and data management difficult. CCBL needs a solution that will eliminate redundancy and provide better data integration processes, along with easy maintenance. By April 2010, Metro State IT needs a data dictionary and a database diagram to make a final decision on the solution. Waverly Express Consulting is tasked to create these items. So upon meeting with our project sponsor in IT, it's Don Sievertson, these are the deliverables that we've come up with. The team charter, problem statement, narrative describing the CCBL current situation, where they're putting the data, if they have databases, or what are they using. The as-is, a little bit more detailed and formalized way of diagramming or illustrating the current process and a to-be process, the ideal situation, what we've suggested to make things a little bit better for them. A data dictionary of existing and proposed data fields, a recommendation for a database design, and finally, a final report project. So in the next couple slides, I'm going to talk about the as-is diagram as well as our initial shot of a database diagram. So now you're looking at the as-is process diagram. I'm going to talk about this in a very high-level fashion. If you go look at the right side, I hope you're looking at the right side of the screen now, you should see on the top it says the metropolitan state. So that part of itself is Metro State. The left side is the Center for CCBL, which shows the different processes. Now, CCBL is chopped up or divided in 5 different units at this point, as we understand. There's the Youth and Family Library, there's the American Democracy, and there's the Internship and the Service Learning. All these different units have their own business, have their own little unique processes, and in the end, they have their own reports. They create their own reporting, and they keep their own reports on Excel sheets. This provides a lot of hardship every time Metro State the Metro State side, I don't know, let me get back to center. The center, by the way, is under Metro State. All in they're in the same big umbrella of Metro State. Now, when Metropolitan State needs reporting from CCBL, it takes them forever to get the data because obviously the data is fragmented. It's in every unit, they don't have a central repository. So the as-is process design, the process diagram will give you an idea on I wouldn't say disorganization, but it's just current current shot of what it is, what we're looking at. It gives us a little help as well in looking for the best solution. And so the next slide, as you see here, is the initial data diagram design. This is our initial shot of what we think it's going to look like if we're going to create a database. It's going to be fields, different fields and different entities that we think are going to be commonalities or something that they would need in order to create the queries. Queries, by that, MetroState asks things like, how many faculty have been engaged in this program, how many students have been engaged, how many hours, what are the goals, all these different reports. They have to go through and sift through this information. So what we've done is, Jeffrey has done, looked at, Jeffrey and other teams, has looked at, how we may be able to, at least in the initial way, to create the tables, what tables will be needed in the process. This is not set in stone at this point. We still will be meeting with our sponsors, we'll be meeting with Don, we'll be getting a little bit more feedback to get more of the fields. So that's the data diagram. Now our meeting minutes. This is an aggregate for all the meetings we have worked with and what we've done in the couple times we met. I have to point out this, as a technology to me, we utilize a lot of the online tools. First we use the Facebook group site. We set it to private. A lot of our sponsors are using Facebook, and it's a quick backup way to communicate with them. We also use D2L discussion boards, as well as we use Skype a lot of times for our meetings. So now for the meeting minutes, let's start out from the January 27th. We met with Dawn Sievertson. With that meeting, we got the project information, a little bit more detail on what we're doing for the projects. It looked a little easy on this, it looked a little easy on the resume, but upon meeting with her, it's a very substantial project. So we're excited to, sit and sift this through and get a solution for them. Also, we've created, she gave us a list of our deliverables. What does she expect from our team to make this a success? So it will be a measure of success. That will be number 1, a narrative. Number 2, data dictionary. And finally, she wants a data diagram. It's, it's a map to a database, some sort of database. So on February 2nd, we initiated a meeting with Naja from CCBL. So I guess it's a little confusing when I'm talking about IT and CCBL. IT will be the people, the organization that creates this technology solution for CCBL. So this is why, we met with Naja as well for the CCBL to get a little bit of feel on what it is, on the ground. So we talked to Naja, and she gave us an idea on the CCBL structure. What do they do for day-to-day things? What are the units? And she also gave us the data that they have collected through this years. And surprisingly, they only use Excel files in different units, which there's a lot of limitations with that software. On February 8th, we've hosted a phone conference to meet with Susan Schumer, the director of CCBL, and again with Naja and Evelyn, to get a little bit more detailed look on the CCBL business process and get a charter feedback. What do they think about their initial charter and then deliverables? And that meeting was very successful, and we give us, again, another milestone that, okay, we have done this, and this is what we're going to do at this point. So I think one of the biggest changes that we have worked with is a sponsor change. Dawn Sievertson has expressed that she's going to be very busy with her IT position at Metro State, and she offered Robert Granvin, who knows a lot about the project, as a substitute. So that would be, I think, the biggest change in their agenda or project. So finally, the next steps. What are they going to be? First, we're going to create the project requirement document. We're going to create a scope statement document. We're going to create the data dictionary and outline input parameters. And we're going to take a shot at creating the to-be process diagram narratives. Now, all this, we need to meet with the sponsor again and get enough feedback. They have expressed a lot of interest in getting as much close cooperation with us because they want to get this done. They've been working on this, I think 6 months or probably years now to get this thing done. But yeah. So on behalf of Monira, Lee, John, and myself, I'd like to thank you all for Thanks.